You're watching Eerie Escapes.
While his surname remained a mystery to all, uttering the name Amos was enough for anyone in the town to know exactly who was being referenced. The last few years of Amos's life were a picture of increasing reclusiveness and obsession. Once an individual renowned for his wealth and status, he became known for his eccentricity, spending his final years in the isolation of his vast mansion. The House of Whispers, as it was called, became the center of Amos's life, a solitary sanctuary where he pursued his strange interests, unhindered and undisturbed by the outside world. Amos had always held a fascination for the metaphysical, but it was in these last years that his interest intensified into an obsession. The mansion, which had been a symbol of his worldly success, became a backdrop for his forays into occultism. His desire to understand and eventually overcome mortality began to consume him, dictating his every waking moment. The mansion's once bustling halls and vibrant rooms bore silent witness to Amos's increasing desperation, the walls echoing with his impassioned pleas and frenzied incantations. His home gradually turned into a labyrinth of esoteric pursuits. From ancient tomes to peculiar artifacts, Amos collected all he could that promised knowledge about immortality. His once grand library was transformed into a repository of arcane texts and mystic symbols, each dust-laden shelf bearing the weight of his unquenchable quest. This obsession eventually drove him into isolation, further alienating him from the world. He withdrew completely into the confines of his mansion, engaging little with the townsfolk. His once frequent appearances in town became memories, and rumors about his strange activities swirled amongst the townsfolk. As Amos plunged deeper into his studies of the occult, his health began to deteriorate. His once robust frame grew thin and frail, his features hollowed and his eyes gained a haunted, feverish look. But the physical decline did little to deter him. If anything, it only increased his urgency. However, Amos's relentless pursuit led him down a dangerous path. The boundaries between reality and the surreal started to blur for him. His nights were plagued with horrifying nightmares, his days filled with spectral whispers. He began to speak of seeing things others could not, of hearing voices in the silence of his mansion. The townsfolk whispered that Amos's mind was starting to unravel, his sanity eroding under the weight of his obsession. And then, one stormy night, Amos vanished without a trace. The mansion fell eerily silent, its master suddenly absent. His disappearance sent shockwaves through the town, the mansion bearing silent testament to the price of tampering with the natural order. In the years following Amos's disappearance, the mansion stood vacant, a haunting reminder of its occupants' ill-fated pursuit. Despite its emptiness, the townsfolk claimed that Amos's spectral presence lingered within its imposing walls, his desperate whispers echoing through its corridors. The man might have been gone, but his obsession and its tragic end had etched themselves indelibly into the mansion, transforming it into the House of Whispers. Despite its vacancy, the mansion's formidable silhouette continued to punctuate the town's skyline, a silent testament to the town's chilling folklore. The tales of Amos's relentless pursuit of immortality, his foray into the forbidden territories of dark arts, and his inexplicable disappearance became woven into the town's cultural fabric. His cautionary tale served as a stark reminder to the townsfolk, especially the young, about the perils of meddling with the natural boundaries of life and death. However, these terrifying legends did little to dissuade the adventurous spirit of a young wanderer named Finn. The terrifying tales and the challenge they presented drew Finn to the small town. A reckless wager with the local youth prompted him to embark on an audacious exploration of the House of Whispers, a venture that none in the town had braved to undertake, especially as the twilight acquiesced to the terrifying reign of the Stygian night. As he stood before the mansion's intimidating facade, Finn felt a surge of adrenaline coursing through his veins. Armed with a mere flashlight, a modest bag of provisions, and his inexhaustible spirit of bravado, he dared to step into the haunted confines of the House of Whispers. Upon crossing the threshold, he was enveloped by a dense, unnatural darkness, one that seemed to hungrily swallow the feeble beam of his flashlight. An icy gust of wind brushed past him, the unexpected drop in temperature sending a ripple of shivers down his spine and raising goosebumps on his skin. Undaunted by the unwelcome reception, he delved deeper into the heart of the mansion. As the night wore on, Finn navigated through the mansion's labyrinthine corridors and desolate rooms, documenting his thrilling exploration with his trusty camera. As the clock neared midnight, he found himself in the mansion's expansive library, a gloomy sanctuary lined with dusty shelves housing ancient tomes and peculiar artifacts. His gaze was immediately drawn to an intriguing, dust-encrusted book ensconced on a pedestal, its spine alluringly inscribed with the word immortality. Driven by curiosity, Finn opened the mysterious tome, revealing pages adorned with arcane symbols and cryptic scripts. An unsettling feeling began to grip him, the cryptic diagrams and puzzling writings kindling a sense of impending dread within him. Suddenly, an ethereal whisper broke the library's silence, a spectral voice that seemed to spring from the very air itself. "Foolish mortal, you dare to seek what is not yours," it murmured. A tempest of chaos followed. The library was cast into an ominous darkness as the hearth suddenly went out. Finn's flashlight flickered ominously before succumbing to the dark, and a deafening crash reverberated through the room. A spectral figure emerged from the shadows, its shadowy silhouette wavering like an eerie phantom. A pair of menacing, crimson eyes fixed their gaze on Finn, and a skeletal hand reached out menacingly towards him. "You dared to seek, now pay the price," the gravelly voice boomed through the library. Finn's horrified scream echoed through the room as the spectral figure lunged towards him, his camera capturing the terrifying encounter before the footage abruptly ended. The camera, once a symbol of his adventurous journey, now stood as a chilling testament to Finn's grisly fate. The House of Whispers had claimed another unsuspecting soul. As the initial streaks of dawn pierced the morning gloom, the townsfolk stumbled upon the chilling remnants of Finn's ill-fated venture. The mansion's massive front door hung ajar, revealing Finn's forsaken camera within its ominous confines. The footage from the camera left the townsfolk shaken, amplifying their fear of the mansion. Finn's tragic tale added another haunting chapter to the mansion's lore, but it also piqued the interest of a new visitor. Enter Marla, a seasoned paranormal investigator with an insatiable appetite for unraveling supernatural mysteries. The narrative of Amos and the House of Whispers had caught her attention, and she was drawn to the opportunity of unmasking its concealed secrets. Despite the horrific fate that had met Finn, Marla remained undeterred, her skepticism and relentless curiosity guiding her steps towards the infamous mansion. As the sun retreated, surrendering the skies to the starry expanse of the night, Marla found herself standing before the formidable House of Whispers. Armed with an arsenal of investigative tools, she too was greeted by the spectral chill and incoherent whispering that filled the mansion's eerie silence. Unfazed by the daunting welcome, she launched her investigation, meticulously noting temperature variations, electromagnetic disturbances, and scrutinizing every nook and cranny for signs of paranormal activity. In the midst of her investigation, Marla found herself drawn to the same vast library that had witnessed Finn's untimely end. The dust-laden tome titled Immortality caught her attention, as she had seen it in Finn's footage. As she reached out to examine the book, the whispers around the mansion crescendoed, almost as though the mansion itself was protesting her actions. Despite the palpable tension, Marla persisted, driven by her quest for answers. Mirroring the events that had befallen Finn, the fireplace in the library suddenly extinguished. The chilling voice that had haunted the library echoed again, but Marla stood her ground. Instead of yielding to fear, she reached out to the spectral entity, intending to communicate and comprehend it. Much to her surprise, the spectral figure of Amos manifested before her. Displaying remarkable courage and determination, Marla initiated a conversation with Amos's spirit, expressing her intentions of not seeking immortality, but understanding his narrative. This was unexplored terrain even for her, a seasoned paranormal investigator, but her resolve to unravel the truth behind Amos's obsession and his haunting presence in the mansion was unwavering. Throughout the night, Marla coaxed Amos into releasing his fear and accepting his fate. She guided him towards realizing his erroneous actions and urged him to relinquish his grip on the mansion. After an intense and lengthy dialogue, Amos finally acquiesced. His spectral form flickered momentarily before dissolving into a soft, radiant light that gradually faded away, leaving the mansion bathed in an eerie silence. Marla emerged from the mansion as the first rays of dawn painted the sky in hues of gold, the first person ever to spend an entire night within its confines and return. Her tale of redemption and forgiveness added a new layer to the chilling saga of the mansion. The spectral apparition of Amos was never seen again, and the mansion was finally freed from its haunting whispers. However, Marla's journey was far from over. There were countless other mysteries waiting to be unraveled, countless other spirits to comprehend. Armed with courage and determination, she was prepared to face all that lay ahead.
That's all for now. However, we extend an invitation, wrapped in the cloak of intrigue, for you to join us as we journey into realms of deliciously spine-chilling exploits. So, if you enjoyed this story and want to hear more like it, please subscribe now. Thanks and see you next time.